and we'll do the picture first,
Okay.
and then we'll talk about what we're gonna say. Molly Kate, are you the spokesperson? There's gonna be a spokesperson.
I'm gonna elect Bernadette.
Oh.
Or Bernadette.
Oh, I was going to elect an actual agent to do this. We could always do that, and we can always do that later. Like, we can get a couple agents to send in something. We'll put something together for tomorrow with that.
Okay.
Like, we'll get in touch because I think this is a great place to do the waving, like from all the agents, and do the screenshots. But let's figure out what that looks well done. What the actual maybe Gary can say something. A couple agents, I'll say something. We'll just do a couple quick voiceovers. So, Molly, you ready to do a screenshot of all screens?
Do we care that Kathy Kramer just
Yes,
has?
I'm ready. We're gonna do like one screen at a time. I think there's four screens.
Kathy's picture's not up.
I know, but that's because she has her monitor off. There's nothing we can do. She must not have washed her hair today.
Dave Slezak looks really scary. You need to.
Take a picture, I'll take my glasses off, but I can't
All right.
see anybody now.
I need everyone to just wave or look friendly, and then I'll take the screenshot, okay? So everyone wave, look friendly. Okay, I got page 1. Okay, now page 2. All right, keep waving, page 2. There you
I don't
go.
know who's page 2.
Okay. Everyone probably should just don't stop waving, really.
Because I'm not sure if we're page 2 or 3 or 1.
Yeah, no one stop waving until I say so. Keep waving, people. Last page. Gary, wave. Okay, I got everyone.
Oh, our pages are different.
Yeah, I got all 4 pages.
Okay.
Oh, there's Gary.
I've got 3
Sue,
pages.
that's nice.
Gary's number 1.
Yeah. Nice.
All right, guys, Gary's got it. Everybody mute.
You.
Mute. Mute.
Oh, it's so quiet in here. Okay, the first thing we're going, how's everybody doing? It's good to see you all. I wish I had 3.
Nobody can say anything.
Oh, okay. Just the way I like it. First thing we wanted to do is to introduce our Keller Williams Doylestown New Hope stimulus package. Do we have a graphic for that, Bernadette?
We do, Gary. Molly Kate's got it. She's going to pull it up on her screen.
Okay. Here we go. Now I got to put my glasses back on. Okay, so what we're trying to do is sort of address everything that we could for the beginning. And actually, before we start this, I'd love to say that we were on a call this morning in the region with all the OPs, all the brokers, and a couple other people who were involved with PAR, et cetera, and Todd Polinchuk, who had an opportunity to talk to John Clady over the weekend. And they are working tirelessly. I woke up this morning, I had a text from Todd at 3 in the morning when he said he was just finishing his day. And it was actually great that they're gonna be he'll be in front of the legislature tomorrow, and he's actually introducing the bill to make real estate a business that should be able to operate, a mandatory business, like it is in 47 other states and mandated by the security. So we'll find out about that tomorrow. The next step would be getting in front of the governor, which will be the hard part. But it was heartening to think that there were people that were out there working tirelessly to try to solve some of our issues. Now, back to our stimulus package. The first thing we have on here is that everybody's bill will be reduced for the months of April and May, and whether this continues is going to be determined by what we're allowed to do and what we're not allowed to do. The next thing is everybody probably understands that profit share is going to be a little put off this year. How long it'll take to come back is really going to be a function of when we're allowed to start selling houses again, because I believe that the longer that the demand is sort of held back, that the bigger the bounce back is going to be once that it's over. So we may just all be experiencing the spring market in August and September, or whenever it is, they allow us to come back out and play again. I think everybody is pretty aware that during this time, there's just an amazing amount of support for each other. And with Zoom turning into what, I guess, just like cable TV, I started to make a chart today of all the things that were possible to figure out what was worth watching. And it was literally up to about 40 or 50 listings for the week. How many people, well, no, you can't answer, so I'm not going to ask that. We're starting a special that for anybody who places ads on Facebook through command, that will reimburse the first $30 of the ads, just to, I believe, show people how well this works. If anybody needs help in making that happen, we'll be happy to do that. Can the screen move up a little? Or I'm not seeing the bottom of it. Okay, and then this is an incredible opportunity for Bold. Granted, it's the first time that they're doing it this way, but instead of an $800 course, what we've got it down to is reduced to $99. And if anybody in the office were to get an agent outside our office to attend Bold with them, what we will do is we will pay that agent's Bold as well as the guest's Bold. I see the kitty cat there. Are we at the end here? I can't see if there's something below this.
Yeah, that's the end, Gare.
That's the end.
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to put this out to everybody in the office. But one of the things we were working on, part of like every business is, like landlords, is you get kind of squeezed in the middle. We have obligations that we need to fulfill, yet they're tying our hands and saying that we cannot work. I believe that we've got a landlord that really does, is a long-term player and thinker, and they're going to be willing to work with us. In other words, we'll be able to take a part of the upcoming few months' rent and then spread that out over the following year, just depending on how long this goes. But I wanted everybody to realize that we were in a really strong position financially, and we're going to survive this. And I believe that with all our creativity, it won't be very long before we're allowed to operate our business as it should be.
Gare, I want to just say there's just for that agent bill reduced, which is awesome. Thank you so much. There's a typo there. It's $35 a month. For some reason, I hit 34. I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
And that is from the $87 base bill down to 35. If you have printing or anything, obviously we're not in the office, so there should be no printing. But if there's anything running on showing time or something like that, that has nothing to do with the reduced bill. The reduced bill takes the 87 down to 35, which covers our E&O.
And that will be on the bill that's about to come out.
It is. Jen hasn't sent the bills out yet, just because we were waiting to let everybody know that this was the thing. Gary, while I'm talking, did you see an email came out about 10 or 15 minutes ago with a call to action for all the agents?
I did just see that right before I got on.
So maybe you should talk about that and let everybody know they need to jump onto that.
Right.
It did just come out.
Yeah, and one of the things, Todd was pretty clear that he said it's a no-brainer, not a no-brainer, but he goes, it is clear that the legislature is behind the bill to allow us to be able to work, because we do have the ability to work safely, and we can put those kind of restraints in place. But one of the things, I guess, the person we need to convince the most is the governor. So when you see these, there's going to be a couple of calls to action. It would behoove us all to contact our local legislature and send a letter and do whatever we can do in order to support this, so that we can get back on an even playing field with all the realtors in the country, except those in Pennsylvania, Vermont, and I don't know if anybody knows what the third state is that was not allowed to operate. I believe it was somewhere in the Midwest. Seems kind of crazy. I cut out.
David Spivak just sent a chat. I don't know if you saw it, Bernadette.
I'm here. I'll look for it, Jim. What's it say?
It's about the office bill. You were talking about reducing it from the 85 to 35,
87 to 35, right.
right? But others of us pay more, like 125. And
For the desk space.
yeah. Take a look at his chat if you can. It's
Okay.
He said, is there still a charge for office or desk space? Question mark.
Right now there is, like Gary said, we're working with our landlord. Gary, I don't know if you want to address that. Right now the agent bill is what we're reducing, so it benefits the whole office.
And it was actually something we discussed in the ALC meeting. And it was funny, most of the people, almost everybody in the ALC thought it would behoove us more to reduce the office bill more and not just single out the select agents in the office who pay rent to be in the office. So I realized there's a little distinction, one between the office not operating and us physically being able to be there, only because what we've had to do is make all the accommodations to make the office continue to work. And all aside, if there's anybody who has any specific things that they'd like to discuss, we would be happy to discuss any of those offline with anybody. Because we're all going to figure out a way that we can get to the other side of this, and everybody's got a different situation in order to deal with that.
Yeah.
And I think we'll get another semblance as soon as we have a real idea of how long this is going to, it'll affect our businesses for a while, but how long it will be specifically prohibited from going out and making a living.
Yeah.
Any other specific questions?
About that? No. All right, well then, you know what, Gary, are those the two main things you were going to cover?
Yes.
Okay, so I think.
I have a question.
Sure.
Go
So
ahead, Kath.
for the bold sign up, how do we do that? How do we get the agent to sign up for Pivot?
If you just bring us the name, we'll get them registered.
Okay, thank you.
And I'm assuming that they'll be able to see the parts online. Dave, you might be able to answer that, or Bernadette better.
It's across the country that they're going to put this bold pivot out for May 5th is going live. All the MAPS coaches are going to be taking different parts of it. So yes, whoever registers for this, they will be given the link to join the bold pivot.
And one of the advantages when you get a group this large is you sort of get the best teachers in the country on different aspects of this that you wouldn't always get with each one.
It's going to be 2 days a week from 1 till 3. It's either Tuesday and Thursday or Tuesday and Wednesday. I forget which one. And then the two other days a week, there'll be kind of a mastermind with the same bold coaches from that week that you can go on and ask questions and talk to them about things. So it's kind of a really cool, unique opportunity. If you've never done bold, or even if you have done bold, I'm sure they're going to bring command into it. I'm sure they've updated everything with it to make it like super specific and work well with everything that's KW. And since they know we're opening it up to all other brokerages, make it as valuable as possible. So for $99, I think it's a great opportunity. I already signed up for it, honestly, just to see what it's going to look like.
Do you know how many people we have signed up?
We had 20 signed up before this happened. So my assumption is that those 20 will stay signed up, and we'll hopefully increase that. We'll put the link in an email, and we'll put it out on the in-house Facebook page again and again. If you're not on the in-house Facebook page, I think 98% of the people on here are, but if for some reason you're not, just shoot me an email, shoot Molly Kate an email. We'll make sure we get you. A lot of stuff comes out on that in-house Facebook page, mostly because it's so much easier to do a quick video on that page than it is to do through email. We can jump on and say something or send a video in there for you guys to to benefit from. So that's why we use the Facebook page so much. The social media is just easier to get on there for you.
Bernadette, what about new agents who are taking their courses online now but haven't joined an office yet? Somebody I'd like to come to KW. Can we invite them as well?
Guys, what do we think about? I mean, my first initial instinct is to say absolutely, but I've been to Bold, and I also think that sometimes it can be overwhelming for somebody who's brand new. That's a personal opinion. What do you guys think that have taken Bold? I'm going to defer that to Floyd, maybe. Floyd's one of our he's in charge of our growth. What do you think about that, Floyd?
So I would say yes, have them come in.
Okay.
And the reason that is because there's so much time in a day, right? So if part of their day is dedicated to studying for the test, and then they're doing this as well, I don't know that that's going to get in the way. Yeah, I would say bring them aboard. If it's too much, they need to be able to say that, and I would set that expectation early on. If this is too much and it's taking you off track, then maybe you dial back on it, but I'd like to see you try it because you'll be further down the road than somebody that is just getting their license and has no idea what they're getting themselves into.
Awesome. That, you know, and that's why you're the growth partner on this. That's awesome insight on that. Thanks, Floyd.
The only thing I'll add to that, Floyd, David Slezak, is we're going to have to get them set up then on command. Everything on Bold is going to be so command related that we got to get them access one way or another because 90% of it is command.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a good point.
Yeah. And if you brought that person in, you might be able to help them through that. Maybe, you know, if it's somebody who you could talk with and share something with, we'll address those one at a, you know, per case basis if we need to. I mean, the more people we can get into this, the happier we will. So whatever it takes, we'll make it work.
Right.
I think we're going to try and talk about a food drive that the office is going to work on this week. Vicki and Lauren are working on this. Lauren and Vicki, do you guys want to jump in?
Sure. Hi, everybody. I miss seeing all of you in person so much. So we were brainstorming with ALC, and Lauren and I volunteered to try to pull this together very last minute, kind of an emergency food drive this Friday. We actually designated 4 locations for food drop-off, and we're going to be accepting food items. And for anybody who's driving by who doesn't have food but wants to put $2 in the can or something, we'll provide that money to purchase groceries as well. The 4 locations, starting with New Hope Firehouse, Eagle Firehouse on North Sugan Road, and this will be coming out in a graphic later today or early tomorrow for you to post on Facebook. That one's going to benefit Fisherman's Mark in Lambertville. And it's just drive up, pop your trunk, or put your food on a bench, and then the volunteer firemen, Chief Becker and Tom Sherwood have helped us organize that they'll come out, grab the food, take it into the firehouse, disinfect it, and deliver it. Also, the William Neese Park in Doylestown Borough. The borough's letting us use the drive. It's a very easy drive-in, drive-out parking lot. Bernadette has a couple of family members who are offering to help just, you know, put food in the back of a pickup truck. That food will be going to the New Britain Baptist Church Food Larder, which is the same one I think we use for the fall food drive. And then Lauren, do you want to speak to the 2 that you arranged as well?
So there are 2 different locations, different times. The 2 that Vicki just mentioned, their drop-off times are from 12 to 4 p.m. on Friday. Is that correct, Vicki?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. The one to benefit Penridge Fish has a drop-off from 9 to 11. That's this Friday. There's also another drop-off to benefit Penridge Fish, and that is at the Sourton Brethren in Christchurch. It's off of Cherry Street, which is right near the Wawa in Sourton and the Giant, and that is from 5 to 8 p.m. So both locations, you drive up and they get the food.
And I just want to add, I know everybody's really busy, but if you could drop a couple food items, basic stuff, think canned goods, think boxed goods, and of course, paper towel and toilet paper. Please put it on Facebook, please get it out there. It's from KW's heart, but it includes anybody in the community who wants to participate. We need to find food for these folks. They're desperate. Thank you.
That's awesome, guys. Thank you. So that's this coming Friday. It would be awesome if we can get everybody in KW to check out one of these sites. You don't have to even get out of the car. You just, yeah.
It's Tom Sherwood. How are you?
Hey, Tom. Oh, Tom is with the Firehouse in New Hope. He's got a lot of background on this. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah.
Hi.
Good. How are
I
you
was
guys?
just about to tell you that.
I was just going to say, I really appreciate that what everybody's doing. When you do pull up to the firehouse, you'll see the bays in front of the building. On the right-hand side, there's a doorway access. Just go right up there. You can buzz the doorbell right there. One of us will come out and grab the food items from you, and we'll take it inside. And we appreciate everything that everybody's doing, and as long as we stick together, and I know that a lot of people need this food because they can't get out of their houses because they're elderly or they're sick or whatnot, so it definitely helps out. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who's participating in this.
And Tom, I'm going to be there on Friday, just kind of waving people down and directing them over to those benches. So there will be a face, somebody out, they're up just to make sure everybody knows where to go.
Okay.
Well, excuse me. Will there be something shareable for us on Facebook?
Well, here's what I want to do. I want to ask Jeff Beer about that. We could absolutely do that. I want to make sure that we're good with all liability in any way. So Jeff Beer, what are the parameters we can do this under that you're comfortable with? Unmute yourself.
Can't hear you.
I'm comfortable with it. I don't consider it work. I consider it helping members of the community, which my understanding is permitted at the stay-at-home order. So I think you can publicize it.
Oh, that's great. Do you think, because Vicky had suggested, or maybe one of our amazing ALC, I'm not going to call on one because they all have suggested so much and they are so amazing, but one of the ALC had suggested that maybe we could, put it out to our sphere that they could certainly drop off from those times as well. Does that open us up to anything, or you're good with all of it?
I think it's okay as long as you,
Perfect.
are very strict with social distancing.
Okay, great. So then, yeah, we will create something. Say it again.
Good.
Don't get anybody sick.
Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, we can follow those rules. That's great news. Oh, Molly Kate's already working on it, I see in her message over here. So yeah, before Friday, actually, hopefully by tomorrow, we'll get some kind of a graphic out for KW.
I know there's one thing that the fire department doesn't want is anybody entering the building at all. So if you do, just ring the doorbell, get back in your car and pop to your trunks, and they'll come right out and they'll grab everything from you. That way it keeps us safe from not getting anything, and it also keeps you safe from not getting anything from any of us if we do carry anything. But we are taking precautions to make sure that everybody is safe in the community. We have all of our respirators and everything like that. We wear gloves and all that. And when we go out on all our calls, we make sure that we take our temperatures as soon as we walk through the door, take our temperatures as soon as we leave the firehouse. Everything's deconned. We're all deconned. So just to keep you guys in the loop that, we're keeping ourselves safe in order to keep you guys safe at the same time. Do
we absolutely not want anything fresh?
No, more canned goods is very good. That way it's not perishable. I don't know if we're going to take it over that day, or if we're going to be able to take it over the following day. But as long as we have everything, because we do have to sanitize everything. So I don't know how many bags we're going to be getting in, but it's going to take a while for us to clean everything off. But the more the merrier, and it's going to help a lot of people. So that's our goal.
And Sue, Fisherman's Mark has a great relationship with local farmers in New Jersey and Pennsylvania who are providing them with a lot of fresh produce. They have
Okay.
different channels for that. So they're good. And I think the food larder just prefers dry goods and paper goods.
Okay, great. Thanks, Dick.
That's awesome. I'm excited about this. Just to have an opportunity to have KW as a whole give back. I'm really happy to hear what Jeffrey had to say, that we have, as long as we take precautions, we're good to go. So that's awesome. And like Vicki said, I have 2 guys with pickup trucks that live here, and Lord knows they need something to do. 2 guys and 2 trucks. So we're going to be there at Nice Park. If there's anybody else that has a truck and somebody who wants to be there to maybe drive some, if we get more, that's fine too. Just reach out to me privately on that. Guys, while I have the floor, just for a quick second, if you're contacting us about something, can you please use the address as the point of reference for me and for Molly and for Jen? Because everybody keeps saying, you know, Mary Smith, who I told you about last week, is sending something in. Can you look for it? Mary Smith means nothing. Just keep sending me addresses. Like that person that's sending in something for 123 Main, because what I'm ending up doing is emailing everybody back saying, what's the address, or texting back. So try and just think in terms of address across the board, because that's the fastest way for us to look up and see if we got your deposit checks. Everything seems now to be able to become, I mean, my house is, the mailbox is busy. You guys all, a lot of you know where I live now. But just keep, when you're calling me about it, anything, just reference it by address. That would be awesome. Thank you. What else do we have? Anything for today? Does anybody have any questions? Jeffrey, do you have anything you want to add about what's going on?
That depends on whether you want to end this call on a negative note or a positive note.
Oh, God.
Positive note. So fake it till you make it, my friend.
Then let's go to Jeff Levine.
Hey, if you guys are
I'm
looking to
muted.
help out,
I've
then
been
you
muted.
Red Cross is desperate. Sorry, Jeff.
So the only positive, I guess, that we can glean, there's 2 of them. One is the letter that came out Friday. Despite double downing on basically killing every deal signed after March 18th, it does allow all the deals signed before March 18th to proceed to settlement. So we can look at that as a positive because at least for those deals, we have clarity around home inspections and final walkthroughs and settlements. I'll reiterate for those that hadn't heard it, a little more detail than what Gary had indicated. Todd let us know this morning that they are putting together and presenting a bill that'll go through the House and the Senate in the next, let's say, 5 days, that they believe they have enough support to pass to at least put something on the governor's desk that would say real estate is essential. Now, he, of course, has veto power, and I can tell you right now they don't have the 2/3 to override it, but it will be enough. And that's my guess is why we just saw the call to action come out, is that between the Senate and the House voting on something that will name real estate essential and whatever call to action we do that may persuade the governor to back down a little bit and give us a little more leeway. So, you know, I'm hopeful for those things. You know, you should know that PAR did receive a formal written denial of its waiver on Saturday. I haven't seen that letter yet. I'm not sure if they're actually going to publish it. So, you know, they're pretty dead set at this point and not giving us too much more than what they already gave us on Friday. So at this point, I'm hopeful that an act of legislature will grease the wheels a little bit.
But New Jersey is okay, right?
New Jersey, under their one person at a time social distancing guidelines, is in action, correct? Every state we border, by the way, has some form of action.
Question, Jeffrey, and I know this keeps coming up, and just again today, another agency is new listing, allowing showings. When I called her on it, her stance was If the buyer and the buyer agents want to come in, that's their problem. That's their risk. Like, any stance we're taking as an office, other than what I think we know?
I mean, I don't think it's appropriate. As a buyer's agent, you 100% can't be behaving like that. If a seller's going to open their doors, I can't stop them, but I would recommend getting that waiver, hold harmless thing signed. If our seller's going to take inadvisable action, you don't have to turn. I'm not going to take a position that you have to take every single listing and put it as temporarily off market. I believe you can leave a listing active, but 100% clearly not legal and totally inadvisable for every single person involved.
So what, okay, to follow, I have a vacant listing. If somebody who's from another office wants to show it, and does that reflect on me? How
I'm getting emails from co-ops saying, I can't believe you have a listing that's inactive, go and show.
Right.
This is a disgrace and you should tell your agent to take it down. I'm not necessarily doing that, but that's what many of your colleagues are saying about you if that's what you're doing.
I mean, mine is active, but it's, you know, I mean, if somebody wants to look at it virtually, but as Melissa said, if it's another office, we have no control over them. I don't know if we report them, or, I mean, how does that work if somebody wants to present?
You want to report them? It's been recommended that you do it to the state police because it's their jurisdiction. They usually then give it to local police to dissuade that individual from continuing to work.
Okay.
Jeff, did you actually see a virtual addendum?
A sight unseen addendum?
No, yes, that you were buying the house sight unseen.
I'm going to start working on one. I spoke to someone who said they were going to send me one, a rather credible legal source who I'm not going to name at the state level, who said they'd do me a solid and send me one of theirs when they're done creating it for some clients, so that we can just have one for ourselves. I asked Bill Festa and Mike McGee on Thursday if they were going to make one, and they punted, as they have done for the last few weeks, and said there are no other forms coming from PAR at this time. So yeah, I'm going to try to create one.
Okay.
Jeffrey, we can have virtual showings on our active listings or coming soon listings though, correct?
Not coming soon.
Yes.
Well,
Not coming soon.
Well, right. But coming soon, there was something about coming soon being okay to still be on Facebook, I think. But you can't do a Zoom showing until you go active. Is that right?
I think you can post a link on a coming soon, but a coming soon cannot be
sold.
Oh, you're going to put it on Facebook and put the walkthrough on Facebook?
But you can't sell it on coming soon.
Somebody said it was okay, and I didn't think so, but I did.
You can sell it on coming soon. Anytime you're presented with an offer, you are obligated to give it to your client, and they can sign it. You can sell property under any Bright MLS status.
So should we make them go active right now, and with virtual showings?
Well, what are you're proposing that you're going to put it coming soon on the MLS, and then you're going to go on Facebook and attach the virtual walkthrough to the Facebook ad?
Correct.
Don't let me stop you.
But Jeff, I have a question. If we're getting these listings and they're going active, and yet we can't have inspections, we can't have appraisals, we can't have this, we can't have showings, what's the point of putting it active? And so what's the point of accepting a contract if you got to tell your seller, I'm sorry, we can accept a contract sight unseen, but you can't have any inspections? So it's hypocritical. I don't get how to go forward with this. And I don't understand how I'm seeing so many new listings pop up.
I think you have a big problem. I recommend you use really far out dates and a COVID addendum, and then pray to the congressional, the governor's gods, whatever he prays to convince him to give us some grace in the next few weeks and hope that, well, you already sold it and now they can have inspections. But you're absolutely right. And I know you saw my post last week about remote online notaries. And I know that rubbed a few people the wrong way. And I know that there are lenders who are not on that list that will be on that list very shortly. But right now, there's a very short list of lenders that can do them, and there's an even shorter list of counties that can record them. So I'm with you. Unless you're booking those things out, 90 days, I don't see how the heck you get that.
Can you explain the remote? Okay, so if our title company is still doing in-person closings, and if the mortgage company does everything online, they do their applications online, all that stuff, it gets sent to our title company. Does it matter that our mortgage company is not on that list?
No.
So as long as our title company.
Well, it depends. Is the title company doing an in-person closing or a remote online closing?
Our title company is still doing in-person closings.
So if the closing's in person, it doesn't matter.
Right. Good. Thank you.
Hey, Jeff, I got a question for you. So I had got a deal done, signed on both sides, April 1st, cash deal, no inspections. So there's no mortgage company involved. There's no inspections involved. And it's supposed to settle May 19th. Being that there's no inspections or anything, could that deal still go through?
Because that's going to be up to the title company.
Okay, because I put ours on there, so hopefully we can get on there.
I'm not going to speak for TA and what they're doing. They'll make the decisions that they have to make to decide how they're going to close deals. Obviously, I'm in close contact with them. We're either going to see the industry double down on nothing closes after March 18th except for remote online notary, or we're going to see it loosening up and everyone's just going to continue to close those deals. I think we're yet to see what that's going to look like, but we're going to get some clarity over the next 10 or so days.
Okay, yeah, because my clients were completely fine with not having an inspection or anything like that. I took them through there a week and a half before the whole shutdown happened and we weren't allowed to take anybody out any longer. And
the walkthrough too.
Right.
Yeah, their final walkthrough. I don't know if they want to do it. Hopefully we can be able to do that. If not, I'm pretty sure that they're ready to move into this place. They've seen it. They did the virtual tour after I took them through the house before, and they were like, "Oh well, it's fine the way that it is. Let's just go through without inspections, and that's it. And we'll sign it and get it done." So, and it's with somebody in our office too. So I mean,
look, May's a long way away. Could easily go. This is literally dated now, folks.
Okay, so yeah, it's out. It's like a month and a couple days out. So hopefully we can
let it ride.
Yep. All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
Anybody else have any other questions? Wow. You guys are quiet. I guess that's because Molly's keeping everybody muted.
I actually got a call today on my New Galena Road, and they want to negotiate an offer, sight unseen, and it's after March 18th, and they don't care when they settle, and they'll sign any addendum. They just want that property. I mean, photos were taken before this shutdown, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't going to last forever. Put a 70, 80-day settlement in there.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just so confused. It's I don't know why it's so confusing that we can't do everything that we can do for our sellers right now. If they want, like, I have people relocating in June. They have to move. Or they have to move here, or they have to move out to Texas or whatever. I mean, they don't want they want their house marketed in any way that's legally possible without showings right now. And they want they want the opportunity. They know from me that I don't recommend sight unseen. I don't recommend, you're basically seller putting your house on hold until they get there. And then they basically, the buyer has 24 hours to look at your house and see if they even want it, because they've never even been in it, you know, and then proceed to inspections, which they can walk anyway. And you're basically putting your house on hold, which your house is already on hold. But it's confusing, but they want to market their house because they want people who are sitting home every day to see video. They're doing, the sellers are doing pictures, they're doing their own videos for me. They're you know, emailing it to me, and then I'm sending it to my photographer and she's making it look prettier. But no, we're doing everything by the books. So I don't know why that's an issue if you explain everything to your seller and your buyer of what's okay and what's not okay.
I'm good with that. It's not an issue for me.
Okay.
I should, in case people weren't on the call this morning, Bill Festa, the GPAR call, which many of you are not on GPAR. Bill Festa said that they formally shut down the waiver application process altogether on the state website, which I didn't know. So there was a point where somebody like that, they were saying, well, apply for a waiver, they have to move, they're being relocated. You might be able to get an individual waiver for somebody like that. That is not true, by the way. We can't even apply for those anymore. That process is totally closed out.
Okay, cool. Are we good with questions, guys?
Thanks for the encouragement.
Yeah. Jeffrey, just give us a big old smile. We'll all feel better.
Hey, everybody, collect the names of everybody you know who wants to move. We're going to be able to do this.
Yeah.
Students at 5 o'clock so I can drink and it not look uncomfortable.
Yeah. All right, guys, keep sending in. We're going to do 12 o'clock today for the last TikTok, but I'm still getting little snippets of videos. So we're going to put something together. So send in anything that you have that doesn't have to be TikTok. It can just be a short little video clip you took over the weekend of something that was kind of fun. And we're going to put something together and put it out on Facebook. We are also, because I saw some cool ones, like Sheila Diodato. I don't think you're on the call, but yours was awesome. We are also going to, Molly Kate's literally working on that food drive thing right now. We'll get that sent out tomorrow. So we'll have those things all for you. And I think that's all we got. We'll schedule another Zoom call probably next week, a week or so. And we might come on real quick if we have any other updates about the food drive coming up. We absolutely miss you guys. That's 100% fact. Gary, do you have anything else before we close out?
Nope, I am good. We will have more shortly, though. For sure.
Could I ask a quick question, please?
Sure.
Please. So Jeffrey, that email I sent you today, I think I'm going to try the dual agency. So what kind of settlement date do I put for that?
Next Christmas.
Yeah, right? Because it's a tenant occupied property and the tenant's going to purchase a property from the landlord. And the seller's asking me, or the landlord's asking me to provide like the agreement of sale. So I'm kind of like going to do a dual agency, I guess, to protect everybody, or what's anybody's advice?
Dual agency.
Dual agency. You're the best.
And maybe put 60 days out with that 30-day COVID addendum.
I agree with that.
Do 60 days out for settlement?
And use the addendum so you have the
30-day
flexibility
COVID?
to extend it 30 days if you have to.
How would they?
Who did you have the relationship with first?
The seller.
I'd be the seller.
Just to the seller?
If you ever went to court for dual agency, it's not fun.
Yeah, I've done it already, but yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you.
Judy, did you have a question?
Yeah, Lemma. Go ahead. Go ahead, Missy.
No, I think I saw you raise your hand.
I wanted to say something. You know, I'm listening to all this and it's great and I love seeing everybody. But, you know, I just want to say that we are still in a very dangerous situation. Everybody's so anxious to go back and show houses and list houses. It's not safe. Please just wait it out. The people that want to go out and show housing now, they're the problem. It's going to just escalate if we don't stay safe. Please.
I agree with you.
Thank you, Missy.
I agree wholeheartedly. We can go without 2 months of an income. You can't go without your life. I think this is the time to prioritize. And I think that this nearsightedness on our businesses, which we are all as realtors so laser focused on, I know for me, I've had to this is a time to step back and understand what's important in this life. And thank you, Judy, for saying that.
Yeah, I agree, Judy and Jeff.
Thank you.
And it's driving me crazy knowing that, I don't know if anybody in our office is, but I'm seeing other offices allowing showings. And I just think it is so blatantly.
Report them.
Can I add that I actually called the broker of an agent who was dying to get into one of my listings, and I'm not allowing anybody into any of my listings, no matter what. I don't care where.
Yes,
so
I agree.
I called his broker, who I know.
You go, Jeff.
And his broker said to me, "Well, it's the Wild West out there." That's from the broker, who is somebody who we all know, and I just was stunned that he didn't care that and he said, well, he's a big boy. He's going to do what he's going to do. That was the response.
The mandate's pretty black and white. There's really no gray area. So I'm not sure why people feel there is.
But
Are you leaving your listings active so that people will buy them sight unseen? Is that the idea, Jeff?
I have 2 vacant houses that I have still as active. Because, yes, and I had the sellers do videos for me after the fact. I had not done it. And the other one, I'm actually having a seller do another one for me. So nobody's living in those houses right now. So, yes, that's why I've kept them active. Other people who were about to come on, I have persuaded not to come on the market. I persuade everybody that this is very, very hard. I don't like not having an income. It's difficult. However, this is what it is. It's bigger than me. And I just think that all of us, I mean, I'm with Judy on that. It's bigger than all of us individually. I don't mean to be the doomsayer like the other Jeffrey, but I don't understand the impulse to try and get us as essential. It's not that I don't feel essential. I just feel like I don't need to push that door too hard to be able to lead myself into a problem.
You know, my granddaughter is a nurse practitioner, and she's servicing 5 different nursing homes. And what she's telling me is unbelievable. And anybody that comes in contact with anybody going in there, it's deadly. Please, guys, just wait it out.
I couldn't agree more. My daughter-in-law is a nurse, and they're making Abington Hospital into COVID only.
Yep.
And my daughter-in-law is stressed to the max. And we got to kill the thing before it gets worse. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, and my boyfriend's daughter John is in New York Presbyterian with COVID patients daily in Queens and Flushing, New York, working with them.
They had power outages today all over there.
Oh, wow.
So, but I just, what I don't understand is, yes, I don't think we have to show properties right now. I agree with that, but I don't understand why we can't service our sellers. It's not about a paycheck for me. It's about my sellers who have to move in 2 months, and they want their property just to be viewed so that somebody puts it in their pocket as something they can do when they are allowed, when this does lift.
That's okay.
And that's why people are getting creative to do it virtually.
Right.
And through Zoom.
Right.
If you can do it without being inside the property, it should be okay. But I don't think anyone should be walking into anyone else's home to show it. And you shouldn't be allowing any showings.
Absolutely no showing.
Don't come near me.
Well, that's what worries me a little bit. If they do open it up and say that we are allowed to start showing again, right now it's pretty easy to say, I'm sorry, I'm just not permitted to do that. But then if you get to that point where, gosh, I still really don't want to do it, but now it's a harder excuse to give you a bias.
The likelihood of them going straight to you can do whatever you want again is very low. Most of what's been asked for and pushed by PAR is limited, just like New Jersey agreed to. So it would have certain restrictions attached to it and guidelines with respect to how we're going to go about doing things. And is my understanding for what they're asking for, just for the record.
Jeffrey, they're pushing it now when we're not allowed to do anything. There's cheaters out there. Once they release it, any way, shape, or form, it's going to be bad.
Yeah, but there's nothing you can do about the cheaters. There's always the guy who doesn't color inside the lines. All we can do is behave ourselves in a above board manner, in a safe manner, and hope that people do the right thing. But you can't make people do the right thing. You can't.
Good point.
And on the bright side, this has forced us to go inward, to be more creative in what we do. We're learning the business in a very different new way. Talk about bumping us into the new decade. We're all going to be so far ahead of the curve when we come out of this in the way in which we do business. So that's the good news, is to take this time and figure all this stuff out, and this stuff will last. This is going to be in place now, I think, forever, the way in which we're creating our businesses now.
Right.
You know, if you guys were around when we had the recession, 89, 90, 91, it's like the black hole of time. And if you withstood it, you did very well, but also people remember that and they go, oh, you had your home listed during that time? Oh, that's when this was happening. So if you have active listings now, like I have a seller who will not take it off. But they know that people are going to know what was going on and why it's been sitting on the market. So that's their call. So I just urge everybody to stick to your guns, do what you know is right. Lisa, if you want to market the hell out of it in a way that's proper, then do it and make your seller happy. There's no problem with that. And Judy, if you don't want to do any of the above and you want to stay home because it's the better thing for you, then do that. I think we all just need to do the right thing for us and comply.
But everyone agrees.
Can I share one more thing? Okay. Go ahead, Lisa.
I was just going to say, you just said, Judy, if you don't want to go out, but Lisa, if you want to help your sellers, but the whole point is, Judy and I agree, there are no showings.
Right.
Right.
Judy meant to allow virtual.
Right.
Virtual.
Virtual only.
Right.
So, Bern. Did I lose my connection? Oh, there we are.
Hey, Jeff.
I was working on one or two cool things. You're going to kill me for sharing them with the group, though, without clearing them with you.
That's okay, as long as you've got some staff behind you to handle whatever it is you're going to throw at me. I'm cool with it.
Well, you wanted me to say something positive. So.
All right, go ahead. I'll back you.
I haven't figured them all out, though. But
I know where you live, though. Just keep that in mind.
We have access to public records.
Yeah.
I know, and I have no time to go through them.
I'm not hard to find, but I don't live in Bucks County like the rest of you. So, one thing, there's a program out there where a buyer will be able to pay through their phone, routing through their bank account, totally secure ACH payment to our escrow for $15, which is less than what our normal wire charge is. So that'll totally eliminate a lot of the deposit check situation if we want to be more virtual going forward. So the buyer will sync through this app, link up their bank account, it'll verify the funds are there, and can do an escrow account. They pay for it out of that same account, the fee at the same time. So we don't have to How about that, Bern?
Jeff, you're breaking up, I think.
Yeah.
Is he breaking up for you guys?
Really
too?
bad.
Yeah, I'm 100%. If it means that there's an easy way for buyers to get us escrow and it moves us faster and forward, I'm 100% for that. We'll figure that out. That's easy. That makes our life a little bit easier actually than right now trying to like rodeo it and find where these checks are and people are waiting for them to be forwarded to me and everything else. That the more streamlined we can get with that, we're 100% ready to put time into making that happen. What's number 2? Are you
I think
in,
I lost
Jeff?
my connection there. Did you hear what I
There you
said?
are.
Yeah, you said I was getting a big raise. What else?
Yeah.
We all heard it.
Okay. The other one
Quick, Bernadette.
Is it still says my connection's bad. I don't get it. My connection was so good.
We
the whole
can hear
time.
you. We
Sorry
can
about
hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I can hear
that. I'm trying to work out with another company that allows you to take a picture of a check on your phone and upload it to the system. So in the interim, while we're waiting for them to figure out pay at the table, which I think is years away, you could take your check at the settlement table, upload it into our system directly through our bank, which I have to link with our bank. So I still got to talk to Bryn Mawr Trust, but it would be the same as us putting your check through our check scanner. So at the table, you could deposit your commission to our accounts that you skip the step where you have to give us the commission check, and then we can cut your commission check much faster because we don't have to wait for the check from the title company to get to us.
So Jeff, that brings up a question. I just got an email from somebody I'm getting a check from. Do we take e-checks?
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
I don't know what
the
to do with
real
it when it
check.
comes through my email.
Sharon, we're sending e-checks now for escrows as well. Not every title company takes them, only because they're not educated on what they are. E-checks are simply a check that we email to you. It comes right from Deluxe. You only can open that email once and you print it out and you can take it to the bank like a regular check.
So can I get an e-check as a referral check from another broker someplace else? Like that check that's missing. So we accept e-checks from another broker as a referral check?
We will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We haven't gotten a lot of them, so they need to make sure they're coming to the right email address, to our MCA email address.
You want me to have them send that to you then directly?
Have them go to the MCA, the KLRW 195 at KW.
Okay.
And we'll be on the lookout for it. Jen and I both know that it only opens once, and if there's a problem, we have to call Deluxe.
Okay.
They're the ones that issue those. We're cool with that. Because
Okay,
we just
great.
print it out and put it right through our scanner. It's not really that different.
That would make stuff so easy all the way around for all these transactions, like all the money that exchanges.
The problem is if there are some people that aren't there yet with it, so we're getting a little bit of pushback with e-checks, and then it's who's going to pay the wiring fee, because that's $30. So there's a lot going on, behind the scenes with that right now. But for right now, it is only we're accepting them and we're sending them out just for escrows. We're not really getting into commissions or anything else with the e-checks. We're using them just as an escrow, a vehicle for escrows. And in your case, we can do the referral.
Okay, that was my next question. Okay, Thank you.
Anything else, guys? We're at 4:06. We're a little over an hour. It's cool because of the 75 people that were on in the beginning, we're only down to 67. So everybody's hanging in there, and I appreciate that. It's awesome. We're getting a lot of information out here today.
Quick question.
Go ahead, Miss.
Have you talked about, and you may have, I'm sorry if I missed it, direct deposit for commission checks?
All right, so I'm working on that.
Yeah.
That would close the whole loop. So there's going to be some expense associated with some of these things. Now, the one with the buyer ACH is in their escrow, they pay that right off the top. But the part where we're depositing our commission checks, routing free, and then doing direct deposit back, there's a cost associated with every transaction. So I'm trying to figure out exactly what that cost is, minimize it, determine how many hundreds of checks will apply, And then there may be a little bit of a cost associated. We may have to be like, okay, the transaction fee changes by like $5 or something. So I'm going to figure it out with a great deal of specificity, and then we're going to talk as an office and we're going to talk as an ALC. Yeah. But the goal would be for the lowest cost possible, totally eliminate having to come to the office and deal with checks altogether. Would that be cool with you guys if there was a tiny cost associated with it to get rid of that altogether?
Yes.
So I would just want to make sure that we were 100% all on the like virtual, the ACH. Everybody would do one way or the other. We can't really have it would be a lot more work if there was a hybrid, Jeff, of like, okay, well,
no, it's got to be like we're doing direct deposit or we're not doing it, and this is what the cost is going to be. These things are not 100% free, right? But if we want our lives to be materially changed by what this process is going to look like, then we have to have an agreement with one another that we're willing to pay a few extra bucks to figure it out.
Direct
We're not
deposit.
going to entertain it if it's totally outrageously expensive.
Yeah.
Direct deposit.
Does anybody recall in 2001 we had pay at the table where you'd walk away from closing with a check in your hand, and it drove the other brokers crazy.
No, I was just graduating high school.
Thank you.
I remember that. That was nice. It didn't last long.
Jeff Levine, you can come in and save us, please.
How am I saving you?
No. He said he was in high school when we did that.
Oh, you're right. We're just a little bit older, right, Gary?
Just a couple.
Just a couple.
I don't think anyone wants to know how old I was in 2001.
Oh my God. I think this is from 2001.
Bernadette, I just wanted to add, I put it in the Zoom group chat, the phone number for the Doylestown, our local Red Cross. Stacy Graham is our contact in Doylestown. And if anyone wanted to write it down, it's 215-451-4263. And they'll schedule a time. You just have to make sure you go with your mask and gloves on, and they'll figure out the rest for you. Awesome. Thanks, Louise. You're welcome. All right, so that was a lot of great information today, guys. I think we're probably ready to wrap up. Everybody, Jeff, thanks for all the job security you're providing to me. Awesome.
We will sell another house.
Yeah.
Check the mail, Bern.
Thanks, guys, for doing all the donations and everything too. I really appreciate all your efforts and your help.
Yeah, Tom, thanks for everything you're doing. All
Thank
right, guys,
you.
we're gonna end the meeting. We'll talk to everybody soon.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.